All right, welcome to this explainer. Today, we're taking some pretty complex local SEO strategies and translating them into a completely actionable blueprint for dominating your neighborhood. If you've ever found yourself wondering why your fantastic local business just isn't getting the digital foot traffic it deserves, while your competitors somehow seem to be everywhere, you are in exactly the right place. We're going to transform the whole mystery of local search rankings into a super clear step-by-step visual guide. Because let's be honest, the rules of the game have entirely changed, and we need to look at the mechanics of what actually makes a business visible today.
Okay, let's kick things off with a stat that honestly blew my mind. 69% of Google searches now result in 0 clicks to a website. Think about that for a second. More than 2/3 of the time, people are getting their answers directly from the search results page without ever stepping foot on your actual website. No way, right? But it's true. They search for a service, they see a business profile pop up right there on the screen, they click to call, or they grab directions immediately. If your off-site presence isn't perfectly tuned to capture that instant attention, you are practically an invisible business, no matter how gorgeous your website is.
So to fix this problem of the invisible business, we're going to follow a precise 6-step playbook. We'll cover 1, the paradigm shift, 2, mastering Google business profiles, 3, the review automation engine, 4, the hyperlocal keyword strategy, 5, structuring your local website, and finally 6, the ongoing maintenance blueprint. Let's jump right into step 1, the paradigm shift, and why your website isn't the only answer anymore.
See, the old reality of SEO was all about trying to rank globally for generic keywords, but that era is over. You no longer just need a website. You need to feed AI answer engines and the Google Local 3-pack. That cluster of 3 map results right at the top of a local search page? That's the gold mine. Now, when someone asks an AI like ChatGPT or Perplexity for the best plumber in Sacramento, the AI isn't just randomly reading websites, it's actually pulling heavily from Google business profile data to build its answer. If you aren't optimizing for these new answer engines and local packs, you're literally missing out on the vast majority of modern search traffic.
Which brings us perfectly to step 2, mastering Google business profiles. This is your ultimate off-site asset. Let me give you a real-world example that's just wild. There was this one restaurant that went from totally invisible to number 2 in local search simply by switching their category. Their phone had completely stopped ringing. They had 4.6 stars, amazing food, loyal regulars, the whole shebang. But they were nowhere to be found on Google Maps. The root of the issue? Their primary category was just set way too broadly to restaurant. By simply changing it to the highly specific Mexican restaurant, it became the single biggest factor that doubled their calls and tripled their direction request in just 3 weeks. Your primary category tells Google exactly what searches you belong in, so always choose the most specific, accurate category you possibly can.
Now, on the flip side, you absolutely must avoid these rapid-fire mistakes. The biggest offender? Having inconsistent NAP details. That stands for name, address, and phone number. If your website says street spelled out and your Google profile says Stee with a period, or maybe your Facebook page still has an old phone number from 5 years ago, Google gets confused. It loses confidence in your legitimacy and actively drops your ranking because it wants to serve reliable info. Oh, and please, never keyword stuff your business name. If your legal name is Joe's Pizza, don't list it as Joe's Pizza Best Delivery in Denver. Actually, scratch that. Just don't try to game the system at all, because Google will actively suspend your profile for it.
Here is a huge tip. Upload real, unpolished photos of your business constantly. Why? Because Google's own data shows that profiles with over 100 photos receive a massive 520% more calls and over 2,000% more direction requests. That is an unbelievable difference in conversion. And hey, these pictures do not need to be expensive professional studio shots. In fact, they shouldn't be. They just need to be real. Show your storefront from the street. Show your team in action. Show the actual food you serve. It proves to prospective customers and, crucially to Google's algorithm, that you are a thriving, authentic, local business that is active right now. Okay, moving right along to step 3, the review automation engine. It's time to shift from hoping to actually asking. You see, you really can't rely on passive hope for reviews anymore. You need a dedicated system, because review velocity is literally the #1 factor in local pack rankings. There's a specific 3-step engine that helped one local contractor jump from 12 to 47 reviews in just 60 days, skyrocketing them from number 7 up to number 2 in local rankings.
Here's how it works. Step 1. Ask in person while the customer is absolutely thrilled with your work. Step 2. Automate an SMS request exactly 1 hour after the appointment concludes. And Step 3. Send the direct Google review link right in that text. Don't make the customer open their browser, search for you, and try to figure it out. Hand them the exact button while that positive experience is still top of mind.
All right, step 4, the hyperlocal keyword strategy. We are transitioning from your profile to your actual website, your on-site asset. Look, trying to rank for broad terms like Vancouver real estate is basically an uphill battle against massive corporate giants like Zillow or Realtor.ca. They have millions to spend on SEO. You probably don't. Instead, you've got to shift your focus to micro neighborhoods. Hyperlocal marketing is the process of targeting customers in a very specific geographic area to build local authority. It screams to Google that your content is hyper-relevant to a user who is physically searching in or searching for that exact community. Sure, you might get fewer overall clicks than a generic search, but the visitors you do capture, they are highly targeted, highly motivated, and way closer to actually making a purchase or booking your service. The best part? Google literally hands you the cheat code to figure this out. Simply typing into Google's search bar reveals the exact long-tail keywords your local buyers are actually searching for. Typing a phrase like condos for sale Toronto brings up specific neighborhoods like downtown, Lakeshore, or Yorkville right there in the autocomplete dropdown. This is Google serving your keyword strategy on a silver platter based on actual real-time human behavior. These aren't just random guesses. Make a master list of these localized phrases. These long-tail hyperlocal keywords are going to form the entire foundation of your website's content. So, once you've compiled those keywords, run them through an SEO dashboard like Moz to check the metrics. What you're looking for is a priority rating of 50 or higher. Why 50? Well, because you don't just want high search volume, you need to balance that volume against the keyword difficulty, basically how hard it is to actually rank on the first page. A priority score of 50 or more means you've hit the absolute sweet spot. It means enough people are actively searching for that specific phrase, but the competition is low enough that your local business can realistically swoop in, win that traffic, and show up right at the top. Step 5, structuring your local website. Let's talk about how to actually build out this framework. Mapping out your keyword density is absolutely crucial. You have to weave those priority long-tail keywords intentionally into your H1 and H2 headings, which are just the main titles and subtitles on your page. But notice the strategy here. The priority keyword goes into the main H1 title at the very top, but it isn't just mindlessly crammed into every single subheading below it. The density of your keyword should always be proportionate to the amount of content on the page. You want to make sure the page stays completely readable, conversational, and genuinely helpful to a real human being, while still clearly signaling to Google's crawlers what your geographic focus is. But it goes way beyond just your headings. You need to embed these hyperlocal terms directly into your URLs and your call to action buttons too. Look at the alignment here. A button shouldn't just say a generic "click here." Instead, it specifically says "View Kitsilano Properties," and the URL it points to actually includes Kitsilano Properties, right there in the web address. This structural alignment between the button text and the URL creates this incredibly seamless location-based user experience. It makes your local relevance completely undeniable to search engines, baking that geographic keyword right into the DNA of your site. If you truly want to capture local search traffic, your ultimate goal should be to build out at least 20 dedicated neighborhood pages. This is exactly where you flex your local authority. And a neighborhood page shouldn't just be some thin, lazy list of links. No way. It needs a rich, detailed write-up of what makes that specific community unique, along with current local market data and dedicated searches for that exact area. By building out 20 or more of these robust, high-quality pages, you're casting this wide, yet highly targeted, hyperlocal net across your entire service radius. You'll capture searchers no matter which tiny micro-neighborhood they happen to be looking for. And finally, step 6, the ongoing maintenance blueprint. Think of this as your SEO fitness routine. By dedicating literally just 30 minutes a week to a strict maintenance schedule, you signal to Google that your business is fresh, active, and highly reputable. Most of your competitors, they treat their Google business profile as a set-it-and-forget-it task, basically abandoning it after day 1. But if you are posting weekly updates, immediately replying to new reviews, uploading 3 to 5 authentic new photos every month, and doing a quarterly audit of your NAP consistency, Google is going to continuously prioritize your active profile over their stale, outdated ones, every single time. Which leaves us with one final thought to ponder based on the playbook we've just unpacked today. Ask yourself, will you remain an invisible option, or will you take these specific steps to become the undisputed local authority?
As we've seen, it doesn't take massive corporate budgets to win at local SEO. It just takes specificity, consistency, and a highly structured approach to both your offsite profiles and your on-site architecture. So claim that Google profile, start building out those rich neighborhood pages, and get ready to watch your digital foot traffic completely transform. You've got this.